Good morning, everybody. My name is Dale Sams, and I'm a veteran storm chaser and NOAA storm chaser here to give you the latest breakdown for today's heavy rain threat, significant rain threat here across southwest Texas here, and show you here too what's currently going on radar. All right, across here southwest Texas here near San Antonio here and across the Del Rio Grande, all right, region. So currently, right now, we do have some very heavy rainfall in here. A lot of complexes here coming from Victoria, Texas, up into San Antonio, and even up into Kerrville here. But also, right on the north side of San Antonio, we do have a tornado warning in effect, and and there's been a tornado sighted here. This is an observed tag here. So you can see here there is some, you can see some spin in the the relative reflectivity here. Here again, north of San Antonio, and here basically around Chavano Park, just to north of there. And looking at the relative velocity here, this is some very broad rotation. Okay, it's not strong by any means, but it's right here. All right, this is where the rotation would be, or if there's a tornado on the ground, since it's an observed tag, that's where it would be. Now you can see in the last half a scan, it's gotten stronger here. The outbound winds, or winds blowing out, outflowing from the storm here, that's mixing in with the inflow. All right, so there could be a tornado on the ground here in this region here where I have circled. So again, if you live, the good news is there's not many major towns across here. So, but basically, if you live to the northeast of Gray Forest, Texas, here, take shelter. Okay, take shelter like there is a tornado on the ground. Okay, flip this camera back on me for a minute here. So that's what's currently going on severe weather-wise. Now, the overall severe weather forecast today across the entirety of the U.S. is going to remain marginal and isolated. Here, there's going to be pockets across the U.S. Where there could be some low-end severe weather here, but overall, the main story here today, the main weather narrative, is going to be the heat and the significant heavy rainfall potential here across the Rio Grande and San Antonio region. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it here to the latest HER model in terms of and showing the precipitation totals here within the next 24 hours. And it shows around San Antonio around 2 inches here, isolated 7 inches on the south side. And you can kind of see that, even, across Persol here, 7.5 inches. And then closer to the Rio Grande Valley here, even, 8 inches plus. All right. So, again, this is just within the next 24 hours. Okay. And now if we go through Friday here, you can really see how it is, some very heavy, significant rainfall totals here across the Rio Grande Valley here, especially up near Rock Springs, where this specific model is showing over a foot of rain here, and even over in isolated pockets here of over 16 inches of rain. So that's what we're in for if you live across these regions here over the next few days. You're going to be receiving some very heavy rainfall here. Some back building of storms, so same areas getting hit multiple times by storms and producing heavy rainfall. Okay, at the official NOAA Weather Prediction Center excessive rainfall outlook here for today, we have a high risk. Okay, marginal risk, slight risk, moderate risk, high risk. All right, high risk is here in the pink. Now, think of this. I always love to explain this to people. Think of these outlooks kind of like you do your NOAA Storm Prediction Center outlooks, okay, on a general scale. Okay, so if you live up near the Dallas Metroplex here, you're under a marginal risk for excessive flooding today. So it's not very likely, but the possibility is there. And the further south you go along I-35 and and getting into the Del Rio Grande valley here across southwest Texas, southern Texas, you have higher chances of seeing excessive rainfall, significant flooding here, especially here across the Del Rio Grande region here. That includes Rock Springs, Uvalde, Sonora, okay, and and even Comstock, Texas. So again, this is nothing to play around about. That's why I put the messaging similar to when the Storm Prediction Center issues moderate risk or high risk days, in the rarity that they do the 1-2% of the time of the year in a calendar year. But the messaging is still the same. It's a day for due diligence if you are traveling across this region, if you're doing outdoor activities, if you live in this region here. Already start to think to go to higher land, higher elevation to where mudslides, flooding, and the flooding rains, flooding waters cannot reach you here. So make the preparations now. Stay weather aware here. And again, there still could be occasional, very isolated severe storms here. Taking a look here. Let me camera here. Back on radar. This is the current radar here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that pink circle. You see now the rotation here across here, just northeast of Gray Forest, Texas here. It's gotten weaker. There's still some broad rotation, but it's weaker. All right, so I do not think there's a tornado currently on the ground here. And again, we're looking specifically right in here. Okay, so that's where we're looking. And you just go back a few radar scans here. It really, it was really starting to light up, especially just a few scans back. You see when it was down here, you see that brighter red and brighter green. That is, some very strong rotation being picked up on radar. Okay, so the good news is right now in the latest radar scan, it does show the rotation has broadened out here. And here, let's go ahead and go back to reflectivity here and zoom back out. So again, we still have an active tornado warning here from Shavano Park up to Fair Oaks Ranch, Bulverde, and just to the south of Bergium, Texas. All right, and again, we have a tornado warning right now. Still observed. There's 24 minutes. This is until 8:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So even though the Storm Prediction Center doesn't have a big area highlighted for severe weather here today, a few of these storms could be isolated strong to even like an impulse isolated severe here for a little bit, and then it comes back down below severe limits. But the overall picture here across Texas today is the main story is going to be the heavy rainfall and significant flood threat across that region. Okay, so definitely have a plan in place today. Again, if you're going to be across these regions here, and have a way to receive watches and warnings, especially flood warnings, because they can come out of nowhere, where it leaves you with little time to prepare and get to safer cover. Okay, so on that note, that's all I have for you right now. If I need to make another video in the future, I will. Otherwise, stay safe out there and stay weather aware.